CNN learning tonight that Cassidy Hutchinson, the aide to former White House Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, is now cooperating with the Department of Justice's investigation into Donald Trump's efforts to overturn the election. Now, this is a major development because, of course, you know, Hutchinson was a key witness for the January 6th committee. Her testimony there providing a window into Trump's state of mind in the days leading up to and in those crucial moments of January 6th. She was in the room for some of the most damning and important conversations, including one that shows that Trump knew that his rally could turn violent because his supporters were armed.
I was in the vicinity of a conversation where I overheard the president say something to the effect of, I don't effing care that they have weapons. They're not here to hurt me. Take the effing mags away. Let my people in. They can march to the Capitol from here.
Knew they were armed and take the mags away, head for the Capitol. Trump's former White House lawyer, Ty Cobb, told us after that testimony, quote, "If this isn't insurrection, I don't know what is." Now, Hutchinson also laid out evidence that could possibly get the DOJ closer to prosecuting Trump for obstructing an official proceeding. So again, during her taped deposition for the January 6th committee, Hutchinson detailed what she was told about a heated exchange that Trump had with a Secret Service agent after his speech on January 6th.
The president said something to the effect of, "I'm the effing president, take me up to the Capitol now." To which Bobby responded, "Sir, we have to go back to the West Wing." The president reached up towards the front of the vehicle to grab at the steering wheel. Mr. Engel grabbed his arm, said, "Sir, you need to take your hand off the steering wheel. We're going back to the West Wing. We're not going to the Capitol." Mr. Trump then used his free hand to lunge towards Bobby Engel. And when Mr. Ornato had recounted this story to me, he had motioned towards his clavicles.
Mr. Ornato, the man to whom she refers, has now retained a lawyer. And two Secret Service sources have backed up much of what Cassidy Hutchinson testified to the committee. They tell CNN this. So far, the committee says no one has come forward to contradict Hutchinson's account. Here's the bottom line. Her testimony was a game changer to the committee. And now, working with the DOJ. And she's not the only former White House official cooperating. According to Trump's former communications director, Alyssa Farah Griffin, there are others now speaking to Merrick Garland and the DOJ.
There was someone else in the broader network who I'd consider mid-level that could support some of what they're looking into, specifically around similar questions to what Short was asked about, which is the pressure campaign on Mike Pence in the days leading up to January 6th, the schemes of things like fake electors, and even some of these creative ways that certain officials at the Department of Justice wanted to bypass the law to try to hold on to victory.
So more people cooperating, and it comes as the Justice Department, we understand, has also obtained a second warrant to search the contents of Trump's election attorney John Eastman's cell phone. That is a second warrant there. Obviously, what's on that cell phone is crucial, and it could be devastating for the former president. Eastman presented Trump with a guide for overturning the election. He was in Trump's ear in the days leading up to the insurrection and played a major role in the fake elector scheme. Evan Perez is out front live in Washington to begin our coverage. And Evan, so much to get to tonight. Let's start with Cassidy Hutchinson. What more are you learning about her cooperating with the DOJ investigation?
Well, the importance, Aaron, of Cassidy Hutchinson coming into the Justice Department, providing some cooperation, is that she and others, according to some of the reporting today, there are others at the White House who are also coming in to talk to prosecutors. And obviously, these are people who were present during some of the momentous things that happened. Of course, there was that January 4th meeting where the former president pressured Mike Pence, the vice president, to set aside the election results, that he had the power to set aside those results and to seat these fake electors that they had gathered in the 7 battleground stakes. All of that they had witnesses there in the White House. Of course, Mark Short and Greg Jacob, who were the aides to Mike Pence, have already come in to the grand jury, you can expect that this is going to just bring the prosecutors are going to bring others before the grand jury to try to shore up some of that testimony. Importantly, as you pointed out, the Justice Department today in a court filing said that they had gotten a second warrant to look through some of the things that they found on John Eastman's phone. Obviously, this because Eastman claims that he was a lawyer for the former president, this sets up some potential attorney-client privilege issues, which is what prosecutors are trying to get ahead. By the way, that warrant, the court document that was filed today was signed by the U.S. Attorney, the Assistant U.S. Attorney. His name is Tom Windham, who is helping to manage the overall case, the case that is right now circling around the former president. Aaron.
All right, thank you very much, Evan. And, you know, as Evan says, circling around, right? You have hundreds of people charged farther out. It's getting closer and closer and closer. I want to go now to Paul Rosenzweig, former senior counsel to Ken Starr during the Whitewater investigation into President Bill Clinton, along with Ellie Honig, our senior legal analyst. So, Paul, last time we spoke, you talked about Cassidy Hutchinson, and you said her testimony was obviously crucial, that it made the January 6th committee's case so much stronger. Now we hear she's cooperating with the DOJ, and it appears that their case is rapidly gaining steam. Paul, is there any doubt at this point that this now is not necessarily about people close to Trump, but is actually squarely focused on Trump himself?
I think there's no doubt that at this point, President Trump is the subject of the Department of Justice's investigation. It remains to be seen whether or not in the end they'll have sufficient evidence to charge him, and even if they do, whether or not they'll take that decision in their discretion. For myself, I think that Hutchinson's testimony is extremely valuable. I think that Short and Jacob are going to be very valuable. And the next level up is equally valuable, but yet to come. People like Meadows, Giuliani, Eastman, Jeffrey Clark. The testimony of those people would really lock down the case completely, I think, in my judgment.
And of course, Eastman, Clark, the subject of search warrants from the DOJ. Ellie, how big of a deal is it that Cassidy Hutchinson is now working formally or talking to investigators at the Department of Justice?
Well, Aaron, it's a big step, and I think a seriously consequential step by DOJ, even if it is also an obvious step. But that's fine. You don't lose style points for being obvious. The moment that Cassidy Hutchinson testified in front of the committee and the American public last month, my reaction was that is exactly the kind of witness that prosecutors build cases on. She's an insider. She had access. She gave us some testimony about Donald Trump, to be sure, but also about Mark Meadows, another very important player here. And Cassidy Hutchinson, in my view, was extremely credible at the time, and I think she was very strongly corroborated. Now, since then, there's been an effort to discredit her that I think has not just failed, but backfired. Secret Service, through a spokesperson, denied some of her statements, but Adam Kinzinger pointed out earlier today, they've still refused to testify, and other evidence has come forward since then that further backs up Cassidy Hutchinson, from Pat Cipollone, from police officers. So DOJ was a little bit late getting to Cassidy Hutchinson, no doubt. They should have got there before the committee, but that's okay. They're making up for lost time now, and now they have her as a witness. That's going to be a game changer.